I've been able to start to figure out trends and patterns, which before I never had the ability to, just like no human coach has the ability to. A lot of times we are making very calculated guess on what we believe is the issue and what will fix your problem. Well, now with AI, it's going to tell you exactly what is the issue and exactly what you need to do to fix that issue. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. I am your host, Michael Weaver, and I'm flying solo today. Today, I want to talk about 3 data-driven metrics that are killing your sales. So obviously, I have a unique way to actually be able to share this data with you since I'm the owner of Agency Coach AI. And we've had over 50,000 conversations now go through Agency Coach AI over the last 6 months. And I'm able to share, so we have a risk analysis that grades against every conversation, and it's going to give agents and producers the risk that keep those conversations from closing. Well, in looking at that data and analyzing that data, I've noticed 3 common characteristics or data-driven metrics that continue to show up in average to below average producers, close rates, the scores that they get within Agency Coach AI. And I want to share those with you today because I believe that they will be great for your awareness and help your conversations moving forward if you just focus on these 3 things. So before I get into that, if you have not had a conversation with me or my team yet about Agency Coach AI, just last week we onboarded an agency, $108 million in premium, 82 or 83 total team size. We also helped out an agency of $18 million in premium. I think they had around 30 people on their team. And then we also helped out agency size of 7 million with 8 people in their office. So it doesn't really matter what team size you have or what premium. Agency Coach can solve a lot of problems for you, helping you be more efficient, more effective, using AI to help your team get better, get instant feedback on calls. The role play technology that we have is state of the art. So if you haven't yet booked a call with us at Agency Coach AI, make sure you click the link below, check out our website, and book a call with my team. We'd love to have a conversation with you and honestly show you why it's so many. We've already grown over 800 insurance professionals in the last 6 months on Agency Coach AI. So we're growing rapidly. We're making a lot of impact. We'd love to help you and your team out as well. So let's dive into this today. The 3 data-driven metrics I want to share with you. This is going to be a really easy, short, simple, sweet episode. And I want you to create awareness around each of these. So I'm going to dive into these 3, and then I'm also going to share additional characteristics that we find in the grading that Agency Coach AI has the ability to do. That's going to be really great for you that can help you improve on these data-driven metrics that I'm about to share with you. So the number one thing that continues to get brought up in the risk profile analysis that we run on conversations that score really low and that do not close is there is a lack of urgency created in the conversation. So write that down right now. Lack of urgency created in the conversation, meaning that you as the sales professional do not create a sense of urgency in your prospect or customer to buy. Doesn't matter if it's an auto conversation, life insurance, it's a cross-sell opportunity. This is a data-driven metric. So one of those analysis that gets brought up in a lot of our risk profiles or risk analysis as to why a conversation won't close or why it did not close. Lack of urgency. 2, the second most common is lack of authority. So lack of authority. Meaning that you as the sales professional do not demonstrate authority or do not demonstrate that you are the expert in the conversation. You are the professional. You're demonstrating confidence. You're demonstrating authority in what you do. The third and this may not be surprising. Those two surprise me a little bit because most, and at least in my experience, most coaches do not coach to that. That's something that the AI is able to pick up on in the conversation from just characteristics of the customer or prospects. We actually can run customer sentiment on every single conversation. So that's and I'll get into this here in a second. Let me give you number 3 first. So the third thing is not asking for the sell. So not asking for the sell is a risk that continues to get brought up in our risk analysis. When I look at all of the common risks that get brought up in low scoring metrics. So when I say low scoring metrics, these are scores of less than 600 in our grading system. So we've actually been able to pinpoint with our scoring metrics to where if somebody has above like a 750, 775, they're going to close that business. So it's been really cool from our scoring metrics. And below that, they have a really low chance of probably closing the business. And I actually went to even lower scores to try and find commonalities. And these are the 3 commonalities and the risk that continue to get reported to us and to producers and agents and managers. So again, lack of urgency, lack of authority, and then lack of asking for the sell on a consistent basis. So some additional characteristics or data-driven metrics that I want to share with you that will actually help increase these 3 topics that I just shared with you. So there's the other additional metrics that continue to get brought up that I believe have a direct correlation to these would be poor tonality. So really low scores on tonality in conversation. I would say really low rapport building scores and really low discovery scores. So when tonality in sales, as many of you know, is extremely important. And so our software actually has the ability to grade against tonality in a conversation. And so for those individuals that score low in lack of urgency, lack of authority, lack of not asking for the sell, they tend to also have really low tonality scores based off of our scoring metrics and system. So if you are monotone, you're obviously going to have really low close rates. So really focusing on that tonality to engage the customer. So with our customer sentiment, it actually has the ability to grade against this. And so the lower the tonality, typically the lower the engagement. With rapport building, this is also going to help with engagement. And so that's one area that if I'm you right now, I'm going to focus on. So I'm going to focus on my tonality, my rapport building, and my discovery conversation, because rapport building is going to force you to engage with the customer. And when we see the lack of urgency, lack of authority, those 2 specifically, there's also lack of engagement with the customer, meaning that a lot of times the sales reps are talking directly at the customer and not engaging them at all, not asking them questions, not asking confirmation questions, very little education. And so the rapport building will instantly or should instantly increase that engagement, which is going to make sure that the customer is more likely to at least have a conversation with you, like you, get to know you, trust you maybe. Discovery. So this is a piece in our scoring system. And so whatever you call this, whether you call it discovery conversation, whether you call it pain points, just getting to know what's important to the customer, this is really what I'm talking about here. And so our AI has the ability to really look into every conversation and figure out, hey, again, this is part of the engaging process, what questions is a sales rep asking. And this is going to help you create authority in the conversation, because if you figure out what's important to the customer, then you can put together a plan and proposal and presentation that talks directly to that, which means you're going to come across as like a professional or expert in the conversation. And so I wanted to share these because right now, if you are struggling closing deals and you've never had AI give you the exact feedback and the specifics on more than likely, or not more than likely, what exactly is going on in your conversation, that's what Agency Coach can do. And through thousands and thousands of conversations, I've been able to start to figure out trends and patterns, which before I never had the ability to, just like no human coach has the ability to. A lot of times we are making very calculated guess on what we believe is the issue and what will fix your problem. Well, Now with AI, it's going to tell you exactly what is the issue and exactly what you need to do to fix that issue. At least I can speak on behalf of Agency Coach AI. We remove the guesswork out of things. We are determining patterns. We're able to analyze calls in real time. We're able to analyze your role plays in real time to give you coaching and feedback so you can increase your performance before you get on live calls. We give you a coach at your fingertips 24/7 that you can ask questions to improve in that conversation. But to talk about this specifically, if you are having a hard time closing deals right now, I believe that if you focus on creating a sense of urgency in the conversation, whereas you're asking like, hey, what's important to you in your insurance besides price? That's just an example question. Creating an authority, meaning that you demonstrate yourself as the expert, as the professional. Just like when you go to a doctor, you talk to a doctor. They're professionals. Just like when your prospect talks to you, you're the professional, you're the expert, you are the authority. And then making sure that you're asking for the sell on a consistent basis. If you can demonstrate those three things, so you create a sense of urgency to buy, you demonstrate that you are the authority in the conversation, that you are confident in what you do, that you are the professional, that you are making a professional recommendation. And lastly, asking for the sell in the conversations. I believe that if you focus on those three things, you will instantly start to see better conversations. You'll have better conversations with customers. Your closing rate will increase. And the three things that are going to help you increase those are tonality. So making sure you're focused on your tonality, that is part of authority. Making sure that you're building rapport within the conversations, not only getting to build commonalities, but figure out what's important to the customer, which leads into the discovery conversation of what's important to them besides price. What do they want their insurance plan to do for them? And it's regardless of PNC, life insurance, whatever conversations you're having, these are the three things that continue to get brought up and really average to below average producer scores and what's keeping them from closing deals. So this is not me telling you, this is not me guessing, this is not me listening to calls. This is data-driven metrics from AI saying, hey, here are patterns of what's coming up in conversations that are scoring low and not closing. So I hope that this was beneficial to you. Make sure you pay attention to these in your conversations. And if you are interested at all in getting AI in your business to help you and your team perform better, give exact feedback and specific feedback, no more guessing on what's going on, allow your team leads and managers to now be performance coaches and remove the guesswork out of things. And quite frankly, just take advantage of AI to allow you to run a more efficient and effective agency, help your team be better at what they do, allow you as the business owner to make data-driven decisions versus just guessing. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Make sure you click the link below. Focus on creating a sense of urgency, focus on being the authority in the conversation, and focus on asking for the sell every single time. Make sure you are focusing on tonality, rapport, and discovery. If you do these, I believe that you will continue or you will instantly see an uplift in your conversation and your close rate. With that being said, I appreciate you hanging out with me today on The Buzz. As always, time and attention are by far our most important assets. Go out and make it great.